everyone, and welcome to... Oh, sorry, too close. I'll do a manual zoom out with my body. Hello, and welcome to LitFilmFest Classrooms, everyone. It's filming day for our 5th week. If you don't have a clue what that means, check out the playlist below, and it'll take you all the way back to week 1, where you can learn about what we're doing here. We're making a film, just in case you didn't know, over 7 weeks. This is week 5 of 7. So getting close to the end now, getting exciting. And in today's lesson, we'll be filming our narrative paragraphs. Now you can choose this to do a lot of different ways. You are getting very good at filming by this point, and you're getting used to some of those different things. So I'm going to give you a lot of choice in how you edit and how you film this today. If you want some ideas, here's a quick example that we'll share with you now.
The plane landed at the nearest airport to Lake Guatavita. The airport was called El Dorado, and it's in Bogota, the capital city of Colombia. The long, exhausting trek up to Lake Guatavita was worth it. Below shone an astonishing lake full of beauty and history. The wisest person in Colombia explained to us that there never was a city of gold. Tribespeople had thrown gold into the lake as a tribute to their sun god. Solomon Clegg was innocent. The detectives decided to fly to Cartagena to confront their kidnapper.
So in that example, you can see the group used a mixture of green screen, which not everyone can do, but it's good to try to if you can. The Do Ink app, again, is absolutely fantastic at using that. And you can film in the app itself, which is really useful, so you can see exactly how live green screening could work, and that means less editing afterwards. Or you could even film on your normal camera and then put it into the app and edit it afterwards. That's absolutely fine as well. All you need for that really is a strong coloured background. Again, blue and green are really useful for green screening. This is because your skin doesn't contain much green or blue pigment in it. So when you tell the camera to take away green, it won't make your face a funny colour. That's how it works, just if you're wondering. And then putting your tail together, you can choose to shoot it as a voiceover today, which is by far the easiest way of filming and editing. And there's no shame in that because it mixes your film up a little bit in terms of style. Or you can do this as live action. You do have some lines being spoken to each other or characters maybe in your 3rd or 4th paragraph. So make sure that you are filming those. Are you going to take your own photos for your green screen background, or will you find some on the internet? Now, there are lots of images that you're allowed to use when making films, and there's a few that you probably aren't allowed to use as well. Google Images has a really nice function where it tells you which photos you're allowed to use. If you just look at the Tools button, you can actually change the usage rights and for label for reuse to work out which images it's really happy for you to use as backgrounds or so on. Also, we've looked at the app Pixabay before as well, which has safe images on it. Your challenge is to rehearse your narrative performance. Who will read the narrative? Which action or sound effects will you make? Read loudly, clearly, and with expression. Make sure the actions or sound match the writing. And make sure the freeze frames match the writing. Everything needs to sync together quite closely. So you might need to look at what you've created afterwards, just all together, and say, oh, that needs to change. Oh, let's reread that bit again. There's absolutely no shame in re-editing, and that's a good part of this process. If you want to put this all together, again, you can use Adobe Spark, which is excellent for putting all of your 4 paragraphs of images together, or 4 paragraphs of writing or videos all together. And then it's quite easy to record a voiceover at the top by just tapping and holding down that little red button underneath each slide and then reading out your own writing. If you want also, you can have a play with some of the titles or some of the text that can go over the top. And if you want, you can even share that work with us, info@litfilmfest.com, with us in the app itself. So you don't even need to export the video and re-upload it somewhere else like YouTube or Facebook. You can actually share it with us directly in the app, which is great. We love to see that. So it's performance time now. So have a think again how you would position yourselves either to do a voiceover or for photos and filming? Can you hear your readers loud and clear? If there's a lot of wind outside, you're not going to be able to hear them, are you? Do they use expression in their voices? You can be the harsh director of each other this week. Slow it down, make sure that each of your takes is perfect and that you make no mistakes when you're speaking, like I didn't right there. See? That was actually like the 5th take. Did the recorder stand close enough to them as well? Sometimes there can be a bit of problems with recording sound and some of these devices like a phone or an iPad. Make sure you're not covering those little microphone holes as well, just at the top there often or the bottom, otherwise you're not going to be able to hear through a hand. If you just put your hands over your ears, you can't hear, can you? It's the same with an iPad, isn't it? Not going to be able to do it. No siree, not going to be able to do that thing. I often hold it from the bottom rather than the sides. Or better yet, get a tripod, like this good camera. Like this good camera with your little tripod. When you've done all that, make sure you send it in to us at LitFilmFest or info@litfilmfest.com or on our Facebook page, LitFilmFest Classrooms, and we'll make sure that we can share and celebrate it. Now, it is Thursday, it is lesson 4 of this week, which means that we have our show reel. So shout out to all of you guys who've tried really hard across the last few weeks. We're getting even more people just starting at week 1 so far, which is great. So welcome to the clan, everyone. Here's a little celebration about what you've all filmed and sent into us now.
Dear Diary, you will not believe the day we've had today.
What a great start to this adventure. Smuggled in the hold of a cargo ship on our way to India.
After a night of barely any sleep, I gathered my packed stuff and headed for the port.
Caden's ship is amazing. What it's made of is stunning. The crew are feeling up to the adventure.
One thing I enjoyed about the journey there was them sausages for breakfast. Yum diddly yum.
We have taken an eternity to get to this place called Monteverde, and it isn't even the first checkpoint. Piers was just dry when he saw a whopping great big hole in the road, so we had to take the route through the forest as a detour. A monster ant rose out of his muddy prison and fixed his glare on us. We were horrified. Today, we made a slick getaway out of the forest and off the menu. We drove away in the bus we had fixed using the wood from the forest.
Scared, terrified, starved, we then bumped into a bloodthirsty snake. We tried to escape, but we got swallowed. If we didn't get stuck in the tsunami, we would be halfway on our mission now. I feel exhausted from all this.
A few hours later, we were trudging through a murky tropical swamp when a giant, scary anaconda reared up and bit Jack.
Me and the squad got into the submarine van and drove into the blue crystal clear water. Excited, determined, scared, we set off on our dangerous mission.
The mission is top secret. Anyone finds out, many lives may be lost.
Eventually, we could see the mountains in the distance. I was so tired, exhausted.
I spent most of that day fishing for the first time in exchange for a phone call to the captain of the ship.
The propeller on the woofcopter was broken. Terrified, annoyed, puzzled, I went looking for something to fix it.
Excited, happy, determined. Everyone is having some fun so far.
Our kidnapper kept on telling us to give him information on our agency. He threatened Punch multiple times. Tell us about your agency in a very rough and strong accent.
If Lauren hadn't been so bossy, then we wouldn't have to travel on this dirty, smelly ship.
I knew I was in trouble. I called the squad using our secret howling signal.
Traumatized, overjoyed, delighted, we could now continue our journey. If the agent had not cut us loose, then it would be my ghost writing this diary entry.
Thank you so much everyone for sharing everything that you've done there. That was absolutely brilliant. We love seeing it. And we're actually going to be celebrating our biggest LitFilmFest Classroom fans on June the 15th. Where we're going to be holding an online LitFilmFest screening and celebration of everything people have made for this project. So be there, make sure you send it in. And if you want to be part of that, please let us know, because we're going to be having interviews and having discussions and showing media and celebrating all of your weird and wacky adventure stories. And that's it for Lit Film Fest Classrooms today. You have been fantastic. Join us tomorrow where we have an author takeover. See you then. Bye everyone. See you. See you. Good camera. Use a good camera. Don't close. Don't close.